Welcome everyone to the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. I'm your humble host, Chillhop. How are we all doing this fine Thursday evening? Is it the first Thursday of December? I'm going to say that there's a good chance that it is, and I can't confirm that without a calendar. Nevertheless, happy Thursday everyone. Hopefully you're on the verge of completing your week. Hopefully you've had a successful week, and maybe you're ready to cozy up and just hang back, watch an old fogey play some games. Tonight we'll be going back to the world of Santa Destroy with Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. I've been playing this game for, a couple of months at this point, and it's been going well. I haven't encountered too many serious roadblocks anyways. There was Smoking King a couple of weeks back, but that simply took some actual gaming dedication to overcome. Just for some background here, I did play both No More Heroes 1 and 2, and that was on the Wii and the Switch respectively. This is the first time that I'm playing Travis Strikes Again, so this is my first playthrough. I don't really know too many of the story beats, but I think I'm getting the sense of things. Batman is trying to save his daughter. Travis is helping him. It looks like there's his death ball, which apparently has supernatural powers. And apparently it was developed by the government, and there's a whole cast of kooky characters for us to meet during our quest to finish all 6 Death Ball games and get our wish, as I think I'm putting it. So yeah, very excited to jump back in. I think I'm in the 6th Death Ball, which is this Death Ball that is very similar to Shadows of the Damned. I actually did some research in the interim between the last time I played and today, and it seems like one thing that I've been neglecting thus far is saving Jeane. Jeane actually sent me a facsimile, suggesting that I should save her, and I haven't been doing that, and I haven't been doing that since the first Death Ball. So I think maybe today would be a good night to just backtrack a bit, go through some of our old stomping grounds, and maybe try and check out what that pussy is up to. Yeah. So before we do that though, let's go ahead and see what's on tap. And so this one is a Rue Keller Hellies from the brewery. Longtime viewers of the stream will know that I very much enjoy the brewery. I specifically know the bakery line. This one actually is a slightly different one. I think Rue Keller might actually be a different line of theirs, because I've seen more than one of their beers with this title. I don't actually know what it means. But what is this beer? What is a Hellies? Let's go ahead and check that out. And in order to do that, let's go see what Untapped has to say on this issue. Okay, so there's my Untapped screen. Rue Keller Hellies. And so, as you can see, there's multiple Rue Kellers under the brewery line. There's a Dunkel, there's a Marzen, and the one we're drinking tonight, which is a Hellies. And there's some wacky pictures there. Traditional Bavarian-style Hellies, brewed using Pilsner malt with Magnum and Saaz hops, and conditioned using the Krausen method. Easy drinking and full-bodied, with light bitterness, a touch of sweetness, and a clean, crisp finish. So that sounds a little bit like a Pilsner. That sounds a little bit like a Pale Ale. Let's see what is the formal definition of a Hellies. And this is something that I knew before, but I don't want to simply just tell you something. So Hellies, or Hell, is a traditional German pale lager beer produced chiefly in southern Germany, particularly Munich. the German word hell can be described as bright, light, or pale. So I'm assuming it's nothing more than the German style of a pale lager beer, which would be the equivalent of a Pilsner. Though I'm sure there's a difference there. I'm interested to see if I can actually detect the difference myself. So let's go ahead and pour this guy. What the story really is. What is the real story here? Can we solve the mystery, the secret of the Clow? Card captures Sakura? I don't know. I think we're gonna find out. Okay. Grab my trusty untapped Stein. Very interesting that the word for light or bright in German is actually Hellies or hell. I would have assumed a completely different connotation, and I know German and English are very much related languages. So of course the brewery is an American brewery. So very interested to see what they have to offer in terms of German style beer. And actually their Rukeller Dunkel is also a German style beer. So maybe Rukeller is simply their German line. I should look into that to confirm. Bang a nail, dear viewer. So very much tastes like a Pilsner, except it's a little more round. A little more flavorful. Pilsners generally stand out because of the way in which they've got that bittering notes on them. It makes them very refreshing, very light. This one, in terms of a difference, I would say is a little sweeter. It's got a little more sweetness in terms of the malts, and the hops are a little more restrained than your conventional German Pilsner. Very herbal nose, which is common for hops, but again, very few of those bittering notes. And quite thirst quenching. So Rukeller Hellies, very much recommend if you see it out in stores. I guess tonight I'll be Lager Wolf instead. Let me go ahead and update my ticker for this one. I guess it's the first time that I've had this as the Ale Wolf, so look forward to some fun, a fun check-in, as they say. And of course, I still haven't entered my Ales and Fails. Where is my on-top document? Here it is. And it was suggesting that I was drinking an old Rasputin. That is not the case tonight. There we go, Rukeller Hellies. Perfect. Perfect, as they would say in Street Fighter 2. So let's put this guy back. Let's take this out of the way. And let's get on with our game. As Travis touched on what once said, it's game time.
You're up to bat. 3 balls and 2 strikes. You're up against the wall. The next pitch decides the game. You either kill or be killed.
Always kill. Alright, and let's power up our acoustics.
Charlotte, we'll be seeing him soon enough. Be patient.
And of course, Travis Strikes Again is the Batman's attempt at restoring Charlotte, or avenging her, and now it seems like restoring her. I actually did go ahead before this session and bought the DLC for this game just because I knew that I was going to do it. I don't think it'll change anything at this particular stage of the game, but who knows? Who knows? So, like I was saying, let's check out that fax machine, the facsimile creator. And so, Jeane. I'm currently in a dark, wide open place. It seems really high up. I can't see the bottom when I look down. It's like looking down into the abyss. Like made in abyss, maybe. I can feel something looking back at me. I'm completely lost. Please comfort me quickly. So what I can tell from this is that maybe there's a... Oh, and it seems like my microphone is simply pressing spacebar everywhere. I was going to say that... what was I talking about? We need to find Jeane in Electric Thunder Tiger 2, and it looks like she's in a high place where she can see some sort of reflective surface. If I don't find her on my own, I'm simply going to Google it. So I'm not actually wasting my time here. And this might also be a good chance to level up. So we were in Serious Moonlight. Haven't completed that. Killer Marathon, we kind of just went through it. There's actually no end to that game. Good to see you, Zeeg. Happy Thursday to you too. It's been a day. It's been a good day. I did catch a bit of those game awards. Hopefully you caught them as well. That is it is our Oscar night after all. So let's jump back into Electric Thunder Tiger 2. We'll jump back in with Travis.
I'll be back.
And I forget, I don't believe that you've actually completed Travis Strikes Again, have you? So here's hoping that you catching this is not spoiling anything for you. I've actually got to catch up on the results. I saw maybe like the first hour of it, and I haven't had time to check out all the full results, but I'm happy with whatever one, to be perfectly honest.
Since tragedy struck.
I'm kind of just happy that games have risen to this level where they have their own award show.
It seems to be the second coming of the blackout 3 years ago. The city is currently being kept under full quarantine by the military and with absolutely no information released.
One man rises up once again.
One thing that that did catch my eye earlier when I was watching it was I was very enthused by the fact that they're releasing Hades, a sequel to Hades, which I still haven't finished. But from what I saw, it certainly piqued my interest, and it actually compels me to continue trying to finish it.
At this rate, the residents have only about 72 hours to live.
Gotta say, I don't think I even remember watching this
To become Electro Triple Star.
animation when I first played this level. I'm glad that I'm replaying it because, as with anything
To return light
associated
and
with
hope
Suda
to
51,
the
it just
city.
oozes of style. I have not finished Travis Strikes Again. I've only ever finished No More Heroes 1 and 2. And 2 I only finished relatively recently, and by recently I mean in the past 2 years. So this is my first playthrough through Travis Strikes Again. And I'm actually farther ahead in the game, but I decided to go back and save my cat, because I learned that I hadn't been doing that this entire time. You gotta love your pets, you know. So since you did catch the Game Awards, any particular upsets for you? And I'm sorry to start out negatively. I guess I should have started with, were you happy that anything won? Whatever, man. If this is a game, I'm gonna clear it for sure. You can't stop me. These guys just remind me of Daft Punk. We've already gone through this. Don't really need to dwell too long into these antics. One of the things that I tend to do is try and remember what my controls are, since I only play this every other week. Sometimes it takes a bit of time. Yeah, I can see what you mean. You know, whenever I watch award show, and I'm not talking about simply the Game Awards, I feel like there's a fine balance between popularity contests, which fine, it represents what the masses choose, and something like the Oscars, for instance, where it's supposed to be people who are part of the industry, who are quote-unquote experts or connoisseurs of the craft, and then they are the ones that are choosing the victors. And so I don't know that there's a particularly right answer. I feel they're very different extremes. So when I see something like the Game Awards, and it is largely journalists that are making the choices, there's always a bit of skepticism that I throw in there. But yes, Elden Ring, wonderful game. I'm going to continue playing it probably through 2024 at my pace, so it goes. Alright, so gotta keep a keen eye out for Jeane. Let's use some of these arts. I doubt too many things are going to challenge us at this point, considering the fact that we are such high level, or relatively speaking high level. I'm grateful that games are holistically being celebrated per category. I can agree with that sentiment. I think the way that things are categorized actually allows them to be highlighted in well, what's the word that I'm looking for? The thought process. But it certainly allows for things to shine forth in different aspects. As though nothing necessarily gets to stand out as quote-unquote the best necessarily in every single category. We do have a best stuff for the year, but other titles get to be showcased for other things in which they excel. And maybe that's the ultimate goal here, to highlight gems that were released this year that people may not have actually paid attention to when they first came out. actually reach that top? It seemed like there was a secondary platform there, but probably not. Look at these bugs. Maybe up here? Probably not. Okay. Alright, how do we do this? Alright. Spin top of doom. Following what you said, for something like the Oscars or Emmys, the categories have pretty well established precedents for what's typical, whereas the awards for game genre are immense within. Ah, I see what you mean. Healing technique for a second while I ruminate on that. Awarding the best action game makes qualifying stuff like budget or elements from other game genres tricky. Stuff. That's interesting. Maybe one thing that I should probably look into is what exactly was up for awards categories. I was happy to see that Splatoon 3 got multiplayer game of the year. I wasn't too familiar with the other entries though. On the other hand, even though I haven't actually played Multiverses, I was honestly rooting for, what's it called, King of Fighters 15 for this one. Very happy to see Final Fantasy 14 got the Community Support Award. Okay, so obviously Elden Ring got Game of the Year. I should probably go back and see what have you actually played King of Fighters, by the way? 15 specifically. Ah, good old toilet. Let's see, a good example, Bayonetta 3 versus Call of Duty versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Technically all action games. It is very interesting how all of these very different games measure up to one another, get presented in the same category, and get to stand next to each other. Definitely agree with that. Travis Touchdown, welcome to the world of Electric Thunder Tiger 2. You can call me White Sheep Man, I'm the memory manager here. We found the Death Ball and booted up the Death Drive MK2 Mark II. Journey is long or short, the survivors are desperate. After turning from the main character to the ruler of this world, Triple Star lost his reason to exist. That's enough talk for now. We'll meet again. And we keep meeting White Sheep Man several times throughout this adventure. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Multiverses was the game that had the Iron Giant in it, didn't it? And it was a game that was full of DC characters. And I think what is it, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo was there as well? I haven't played any of the modern playgrounds, so I've seen 2 dogs execute flies. I played some of the Neo Geo entries. Gotcha, so the classic King of Fighters, perhaps in the Orochi saga, maybe 94, 95, 96, and 97. Also 98, dream match. Here's a personal pet peeve of mine, and this is going to sway no one. But I have this. I very much like the Iron Giant movie, and every time I see him being featured in side media like what is it, Ready Player One, I specifically was flustered with the fact that how to say. I feel like he's a pacifist, and they kind of just showed him being like a war machine, which fine, it's fine for goods and kicks. But maybe the character is just too ingrained in me as a paragon of his ideals. But again, that's just me being a little goofy with that. I'm sure the game was wonderful. It would certainly be fun to play King of Fighters sometime, but as I was telling somebody earlier today, I think the reason why I love certain games like Street Fighter and King of Fighters, even though I am crap at them, is just the lore of the characters and the wackiness of where they come from and how they're all connected. And that's actually how I tend to pick my characters and my mains. Yeah, that's I guess we all have to have reasons for why we play the characters that we play. Imagine if they implemented Iron Giant such that the match begins and he immediately flies his opponent out of the arena to his own demise. Well, that would be one game-ending feature, I would say. Reminds me of there was this game, this anime fighter, this Shonen Jump fighter that had all the classic Shonen Jump characters like Goku and Yu-Gi-Oh! Whatever. They had this character from Death Note who I don't know if you've ever seen Death Note, but his main shtick is he writes names in a notebook and they die. And so, from the looks of it, all he did was, as soon as the match starts, he would just write the other person's name in the notebook and then they would die. So there you go. It would be something similar to that. Alright, let's see. Let's go Beyblade up to him. Oh, didn't need to activate that. Lame. So actually, question: what are you playing these days? Have you jumped into the bandwagon of Pokemon? So I know about the premise of Travis, and I have seen its gameplay. How much does each level vary mechanically? So actually, it's interesting because when I first saw this game previewed and maybe early reviews, it seemed like every single level was going to be different. And I will say that while every level has its own gimmick, and they like let's say that this one is kind of like a platformer slash action game. There's one that is strictly a platformer, and then there's one that is a racing game. They all at some point boil down to just fighting waves of enemies. So they are lightly different from one another. Like some of them are like mazes and some of them are like puzzles. But in between, you do sprinkle this part where you're just fighting with your beam katana and using these death glove tricks, which is fine. I actually love this part, and I love destroying enemies. But the idea that every single level is a different game is a little loose. I wouldn't call it like very diverse. But I certainly enjoyed it. Where is that cat? And as I was as I was mentioning before, the last level that I was playing is actually just a continuation of Shadows of the Damned. It was like a what do you call it? They actually said it was something, but it was something completely different. I don't know if you played that one. That's another Grasshopper game. Alright, let's see what's up here. And I think once I beat this game, I might actually take a break before going to No More Heroes 3. I think I want to just digest the storyline here. And this is me counting my chickens before they hatch, of course. And I guess just to remind the stream, here enjoying a Brewkeller Hellies from the brewery, which is very much a Helly style lager by an American brewery, also known as the brewery. So let's see, Pokemon has been some of the most fun I've had in the series yet. The game definitely earned its reputation performance-wise, unfortunately. And that's unfortunately a lot of what I feel has been driving the conversation. I feel like even people that love the game, suggest that the bugs are inescapable. And unfortunately that doesn't seem to have been fixed just yet. Unfortunately, Game Freak is in a lose-lose with PR. They could have made another old-style game and people would have complained it didn't evolve. Yeah, and I certainly don't doubt that at least they took the chance to do something a little more elevated, a little different. Sorry, not a little different, but certainly different. And while they accomplished that, maybe they didn't have necessarily the hardware to do it. Or as some people are suggesting, maybe they didn't necessarily have enough time to actually pull it off as well as they could have. Yeah, and of course complaints will always be louder than praise. That's really an inescapable thought. I'm glad that a lot of people are actually seeing beyond the flaws. I think it is also just the case where you do have a very popular game, and no matter how you slice it, if it has flaws, significant or otherwise, it's always going to be in the headline. But I did hear that it does have some very interesting quality of life mechanics, and the storyline is not, the gameplay is not as straightforward as other games, even Sword and Shield. So it does sound like a worthwhile adventure. And of course you do have the open world area, which I feel even as back as Generation 2 or 3, that was something that people only dreamed about, just like having an open world Pokemon where you could just go anywhere and things like that. I think back in the day, the old community used to say, oh, wouldn't it be great to have like an MMO Pokemon game? And of course that didn't necessarily happen, but I think we're getting very close to that. Who is that? There's one remaining. The core gameplay is very solid, and the writing has been surprisingly strong for a traditionally flat narrative. Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, older Pokemon games were essentially, the storyline was a way to make you proceed from point A to point B. Those being the different gyms, and really you taking out the teams that oppose you was simply incidental to your progression. And at least from what I'm hearing, you becoming Pokemon champion is not necessarily interconnected with you defeating the other teams or even fighting the legendaries. Which is neat. I think I like that. I like the fact that these stories can exist independent of one another. And honestly, I just wish I had time to play something like that. But I guess that's a good problem to have. No, that's not a good problem. Alright, beautiful. Let's go ahead and switch to Batman, actually. It's been a while. Character select. Battery.
Play ball.
And I think I'll just go ahead and choose my chips. Character select. I don't have a preset on this guy. Generally, I like to use Batman and use his Batman-specific chips. Reflective Ball, Triple Crown. So while I prefer Travis just as a character, I do like the fact that Batman is just a surly man with a bat who drinks a lot of beer. I can certainly relate to that. Chip. Shiny chip. And what should we have here? Throws a bomb, self-chip, Fasalis chip. Ah, the Strike Freedom chip. I don't know, nothing really is great. Sucks life from surrounding enemies. Let's try that. Let's see. Feels like this game flips that on its head. And of course you're still talking about Pokemon there. Haha. This month will be focused on finishing as much of 2022 backlog as possible. Well, what's on your 2022 backlog, if one may be so bold as to ask? Is it Sunbreak? Tell me it's Sunbreak. It would be wonderful if it was Sunbreak. To be perfectly honest with you, I've after I reach Master Rank 2, I actually haven't been really active with it. I know that it's got buttloads of content at this time that I know that will be waiting for me when I play it, because I know that I will be going back to it. I just haven't had the urgency to do it. And maybe it's... I don't know, I feel like I was very motivated to do Monster Hunter Rise Vanilla. And I know that Sunbreak has a lot of like surprises and a lot of elements that make that game a lot better. All the weapons have different switch skills and all that. But I don't know. It's just I just don't have the as strong of an enthusiasm. I know that it's a solid game. I know it'll be beautiful every single time I go for a hunt, but it can wait. It can just wait. I don't know what that is. Where is that cat? Another thing that Badman does differently is rather than charge his beam katana, is he just takes a swig of beer and just spits on his bat, which is amusing. Ooh, who is this guy? Right, and I'm not quite sure why that is currently. Well, that's alright. Like I said, Sunbreak will be there. I'm sure I'll get back to it before I get back to GU, which is something that I also... Every once in a while I get an itch to play that, but I never follow up with it. Alright, let's go. Ooh, life drain. Yeah, but actually, what else are you actually thinking about playing for 2022? Anything in particular? Let's go get a drink. Now this Badman ability actually makes you better, but there's always a chance that you will become a little too tipsy for your own good and you'll actually debuff. Just like real drinking. Just finished God of War, which was unsurprisingly fantastic. Yeah, I've certainly heard very good things about it, and I know that it was the only game really that was potentially going to dethrone Elden Ring, so I think honestly I've only ever played the original God of War for PlayStation 2, and I was thinking of probably doing that game for the quote-unquote retro corner of this stream. I'm sure at some point I will. I do find the evolution of this game franchise rather fascinating. Why play a video game if it just replicates real life? I don't know. Why do we play most farming sims, right? I guess those don't really replicate real life. I feel like there's something to be said about consuming media that here I am talking about movies again, but there's something to be said about watching movies that depict lifestyles that you will never engage in, and maybe share in the possibility of feeling the way that people feel in those lives. but at the same time, there is also something to be said about relating to viewing and experiencing life as it is you experience it, and maybe getting a different take as to how others perceive the things that you do, and maybe comparing that to your own experiences. I don't know if that made a lot of sense, but I guess that's, in short, I do find that there is value in experiencing things that you experienced already. Clearly I should go around bad neighborhoods with a bat and attack computer bugs. I am sure at some point somebody on YouTube has made a video called Real Farmers React to Playing Harvest Moon. Ah, Bugjiro.
Itadakimasu.
I'm sure we've already collected this one.
Gochiso-sama.
Beautiful. Power has been recovered. Grandpa's words of wisdom. If a man's gonna cry, he should cry in his dreams. If he still wants to cry, he should dry his tears. I don't know, Bug Extra. I don't know. Alright, maybe here? Just some money. Probably don't want to enter the center of the arena because that'll probably proc a fight. That makes sense. Feels like people can more easily engage with media that portrays something they are not, versus something that critically shines a light on what they are. Tell me about it. One of the things that my life partner enjoys very much watching is this docu-series. It's more of a reality TV show, to be perfectly honest with you, about people living in Alaska. And she tells me, how can they live this way? I would never do that. But she has watched this for about 12 seasons. They really don't do too much exciting things, but she gets a kick out of just watching how they live and how it is stuff that she will never experience. Jeez, this is a... Oh, come on, I missed the shot. Alright, triple crown. Yeah, that frankly sounds engrossing. Yeah, I don't know how many times you can cut down a tree or shoot down a caribou, but some people enjoy that. Imagine that. Alright, let's get some health back. Actually, that was pretty effective. And again, I do prefer using Travis. He's certainly the much more stimulating character, but there's something about using Batman and the crunch of his bat. Nice. The main games I'm hoping to finish before the end of the year are Rogue Legacy 2, Tunic, Neon White, and Pokemon Scarlet. I've seen lots of gameplay of Tunic. It looks very enticing. Maybe I should put that on my own list, actually. Judgment and Immortality. Those are actually two that I haven't heard about. Maybe I made this comment on your stream last time, but 2022 has certainly been a year for very good game content. You're talking Pokemon Scarlet, and I'm still thinking that Pokemon Arceus sure looked good. I should give that a shot sometime. Alright, let's see what's next. Okay, I vaguely remember this factory. I remember that when I first went around here, it reminded me a lot of the innards of the ship of Rusty Bucket Bay in Banjo-Kazooie, which was a very stressful section of the level. I'd go further and say it was a great year for visual media in general. What sort of examples are you thinking about when you make that statement? TV series or movies, perhaps? Did I finish Banjo? No, I'm actually in Click Clock Wood. Finished 3 seasons out of 4. Still working through that 100% completion. I think I need 3 jiggies and maybe like 30 something musical notes. But I think I'm well on my way. I am mostly excited about that Gruntilda fight. That's actually one of the things that I remember regretting from the original Banjo-Kazooie is that I enjoyed that fight a lot, but you can't actually repeat it even on even if you save your game afterwards, you can't actually fight her again. I actually do like those old 3D rare boss fights, like the Donkey Kong 64 fight, where you fight King Cruel. Probably one of my favorite boss fights of all time. Very gimmicky, but that's just my jam. Not nearly as good as covering movies and shows as I am with games. I'm sure you're being modest. Certainly somebody as analytical as yourself has lots to say about all the media that you consume. And of course the trick here is to avoid getting electrified by these panels. The problem, and while that might seem completely obvious, once you get shocked for multiple rounds. It's very difficult to recover. All these guys just blow up. But even in a year where Marvel floundered on the big screen, we still got spectacles like Batman and Top Gun Maverick. I really like the mood of that Batman. I think, and you know, the story was actually quite good, but one of the things that I really appreciated was the fact that we got away from the Christopher Nolan style where Batman is essentially employing equipment that a person with access to very advanced army tech would use, and he was using like costumes and things like you could probably buy at like a costume store. At least some of that seemed that way. Of course, he was still a rich person with like access to different things, but it was certainly a little more I don't want to say personable, but it certainly seemed a little more it's also not realistic. What am I trying to say here? Well, it certainly gave off a different vibe, and That was good. I haven't seen but House of Dragons, but I heard it's fantastic. House of Dragons is quite good if you enjoy the Game of Thrones. Of course. Very plot heavy. I also, I guess I have to agree with you on Top Gun Maverick. I have to tell you, I saw the original Top Gun as mostly a gag or a dare. I actually watched it because I was running a podcast back in the day about making fun of movies. That's a little bit reductionist, but let's just go with that. And I didn't think too much of it, but Top Gun Maverick itself was actually quite engaging. It managed to somehow put you on the driver's seat of those fighter planes with very much make you feel the tension of having to fly those planes at those particular speeds with those particular objectives. Kind of just got you into the head of the pilots. And for myself, I will also say that it kind of just made me wrestle or engage with the idea of being an old person in a young man's game, as I tend to do. Let's see. So yeah, initially when DC was giving up the ghosts in theaters, I wanted them to do stuff more in line with Nolan. And I love Nolan's work. Yeah, me too. Undoubtedly, I actually love everything that Christopher Nolan does. Even Tenet. But more recently, yeah, DC just seems to embrace its non-Nolan or non-Marvel identity. I absolutely agree with that. Certainly the DC movies as of late recently, certainly things like The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, if you've seen that. I'm not gonna deny that Vanilla Top Gun was good, but it was more just popcorn sort of fun, have fanfics. Gotta enjoy that Iceman. Whereas Maverick, I think, was a little more thoughtful. You should see Tenet. And maybe if you go see Tenet, you have actually already seen Tenet. That doesn't make sense. Okay, here's hoping that I don't get blocked out of any routes. Oh, it's gonna blow up. Run away. There it goes. I don't even think that gives us any experience, unfortunately. And there they go. We should probably use our HP sucking power at some point. We're at halfway. Wow, I don't think we can actually get past that. Oh, it's gonna go. Shoot! Okay. watching it prior to Maverick, I felt the other way around. Hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. As long as you enjoyed it, that's really all that counts. And like I said, I think both movies have their merit. I'm a stickler for action used reward good drama. I certainly don't disagree with that. That actually makes me think of, in terms of good movies that I saw this year, The Batman was definitely good, and Top Gun Maverick was certainly a visual delight. I really did like Everything Everywhere All at Once, if you saw that one. It was quite good. I feel like I need to rewatch it before the end of the year. Bug Extra. Grandpa's words of wisdom. Don't eat at restaurant chains. Picture the ingredients the head office buys. Picture where the ingredients come from. Picture how they're handled and managed. You can't, can you? Be suspicious of ingredients you can't picture. You know, I see what you're saying, Bug Extra, but I do love certain franchise restaurants I can't. I love my Five Guys. Yeah, that was a third contender for me for the year, the indie darling of 2022. Tell me if there has been any other movie where seeing two rocks talk has made you cry. Because that's what happened to me. Alright, what? Oh, this is that maze. I remember this. Jeane better be somewhere around here. Hey, what are you? Okay. Yes, we've had this discussion. Thank you. Back, can we actually go here? Can't go back there. Yeah, that sequence was masterful. Very much agree. Something else that I also enjoyed in 2022 that there I go. Wait a second. No. Alright. Made it through there. What about here? Yeah, it wasn't, it certainly wasn't the best year for Marvel movies. I did enjoy She-Hulk, and I am looking forward to seeing, Black Panther 2. I haven't been able to see that yet. Can't go back there. And that's not letting up either. Okay. Guess only way is up. I've heard Chillhop gets better in the latter half. It certainly benefits from the fourth wall breaking that it commits to. And it certainly pokes fun at the structure of other Marvel TV series. And I think it does so with sincerity. So I appreciated that.
Right on.
I mean, that's totally fine. That first episode certainly opened up an interesting world, set up an interesting premise. But I can see why it wouldn't be everyone's bag. There's a couple of cameos in the following episodes that I do appreciate, though. Have you heard about those? I wouldn't say it's a must-watch, but certainly easy enough to watch. Oh, gosh. The platforming in this game is not very solid. I should switch to Travis again. Okay, so can't go forward here. Maybe I'll give it another shake. Well, certainly do. Call me in the morning, as they say. Switch. I've heard people compare this level, this death ball specifically, to Mega Man games. I haven't played too many Mega Man games, and I know that a lot of them are in 3D, other than the Mega Man Legends series, so I don't know why, there's a lot of just like things that shoot at you. I guess maybe it's a factory setting. Nice. Oh, we can't proceed here. Jeez. That actually takes away from our health. Switch again. The last switch was... Okay, this might be a little more helpful. Here. Oh no, it's gonna blow up. No, nothing. Looks like we can't actually go down. That's actually what we need to do. Oh, now we're stranded. Fortunately, not too many enemies to be concerned with. Let's drink up. Alright, we're down to our boots. So you probably need to switch your Travis regardless. Wow. Some high dodge roll out of that one. And yeah, I got killed. That's alright, we live to fight another day. And there doesn't seem to be anything worthwhile here, so I guess we wasted our time. Yes, I do have abilities on cooldown. They're actually the Death Glove. And so the Death Glove allows you to equip 4 abilities at once. Each one is assigned to a particular chip that you find throughout the game. And so they're activated using the left trigger and one of the directional buttons. They recharge every once in a while. They're actually generally add variety to the fighting because the game itself only allows you to do jumps and highs and weak and strong attacks. And then you also have a super, which is pressed with R. So yeah, the skill chips actually add some variety to the things that you're doing. But like you suggest, they are on cooldown. Your defensive options are mostly the roll, which is not great. It doesn't give you as many invincibility frames as one might like. Other than that, it really is more about dodging. And I think there's a couple of invincibility chips that are more crowd controlling in the sense that they focus the target to attack other things or maybe slow them down. But nothing really shields you per se. Yeah, they don't actually let you parry. I think it would be chaotic if you were trying to parry one enemy, since the enemies generally come at you in waves. But they do net some nice combos. Like there is one chip that allows you to slow down enemies within a certain area, and then which is nice on its own. But then there's this second chip that allows you to call in a satellite to like beam down a laser of death. But it's incredibly slow, and so the only way that you can properly use it is if you slow down enemies. I don't have that combination on me right now because it's only useful for bosses, but yeah, there's some very creative ways to use the chips themselves. Let's go this way. And then some of the chips, like I mentioned before, are only specific to certain characters. I've yet to reach a Travis-specific chip, unfortunately. Oh, okay. Oh, great. I'm stranded again. Some of the puzzles in this game, honestly. Okay, so we can't go that way. You know what? Let's see if I can keep doing this. One more go. Alright. This should suffice my curiosity. And it was all for naught. There's nothing here. Okay. Let's just get out of here. So here's something fun that you might relate to. I was talking to my brother earlier. I was gonna say earlier today, but actually it was probably like a week ago. We were trying to find a new game to play together, and I said to him, "Hey, why don't we play that Street Fighter V? Everyone seems to be enchanted by how great it is and all the characters, and there's all this fun, wonderful content out there on Twitter." And he said it's not out, and I said, well, how is there so much content? And he suggested that there's just a lot of people that have early access to the game, and it made me sad because I wanted to play it. That Street Fighter 6 looks quite good. Let's go here. Alright, success. Now, if I remember correctly, Zeke, you're a Ken player, aren't you? Did you register for the second beta? No, I have not registered for anything, to be honest with you. Probably something that I should do before suggesting that I should be playing the game. I haven't done any of that. Probably should look into it. Up for these metallic panels. Alright. Ooh, what about this place? Ah, fools rush in where angels dare not tread. Ooh, Jeane. Success. The application. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I would very much like to join the people playing it. Go away, you! Talk to this guy. Bug extra. Grandpa's words of wisdom. Are you brave enough to eat poison? I'm not, because I want to keep living. I want to burn the image of my family's faces into my retinas till the moment I die. So don't forget, most restaurant chains are poison. So somebody's got an agenda. So thank you very much for that. I'll definitely fill it out. Hopefully get a chance to enjoy with everyone else that seems to be playing it. Yes, lifelong Ken player at this point. That's funny. So my brother is also a Ken player. He's very much a fan of it, and I think he's been playing him since Street Fighter 4. As far as my visibility on his progress has been. Much love for the man. Here's me trying not to succumb into memes, but I think you and other Ken players probably had a hard time with his rendition of in 5 with his banana hair and all that. I thought he looked fine. I thought it was funny though. A man after my own heart. Absolutely. Kindred spirits, if you will. Oh, did it? Did it? Yeah, I think back in the day in Street Fighter 2 used to focus with Ryu because Ryu didn't play too much of 3. And then in Street Fighter 4 I started playing more with what's her name? Yuri. Very much like the psychotic energy with her. So I still play with Ryu. Maybe just because of the familiarity. And then I've gotten a level of fondness for playing with Balrog. I like boxer characters in fighting games. It was wholly unappealing. You don't say. Ooh, here's my stop. Okay, I think we're switching to Travis after this. Ah, Dudley, gentleman boxer. Yeah, I certainly like his style. I like his flair. Not to derail the conversation, but one of my favorite characters and King of Fighters during the NES saga, not that I'm suggesting that you should be familiar with that, was Vanessa, who is also a boxer character. But I really like her design. I think that I feel like they took the Dudley concept and made it their own. And she's like this short-haired woman, middle-aged, and she just happens to be a boxer, and she's also a mom, and it's just, I don't know, very, very, very cool fighting style. Sheepman. So Sheepman tend to be mid-boss bosses, mid-level bosses. That's what I meant. I forgot to switch to Travis. So there's two things that I don't know that I would say I like King of Fighters over Street Fighter, but something that draws me more to King of Fighters is just backstories of the characters. I feel that they're a little more fleshed out than um, Street Fighter ones. I feel like several Street Fighter games have similar stories, and they are like, you know, obviously all of the Street Fighter 2s have the same story, except they're just remakes of, or reimaginations of one another. Same deal with the threes and the fours. Whereas every single King of Fighters is its own independent entry, but each of them provides a little more advancement of what the character is doing. The other thing about King of Fighters that I really enjoy is just the fact that they have the team system where even though you can play 1v1 if you want to, the de facto way of playing is actually 3v3. And so it actually allows you to test out different characters more. It compels you to play with more characters from the get-go. And then not only do you actually get to test them out in that fashion, but you, because of the way in which the developers actually designed the game, every single character just happens to have its own little exchanges with certain other specific characters, and from that, from like little before fight things or after fight exchanges, you do get to just understand who these characters are in this world and how they relate to one another. Whereas I feel Street Fighter doesn't necessarily do that very often. I know that every once in a while characters exchange lines, but I feel like they've always been a little more generic, and I'm sure that there are exceptions, but yeah, King of Fighters does that incredibly well. Yeah, Capcom should really focus on developing their now iconic characters. Every fighting game these days values narrative as much as mechanics these days. It vastly increases the mass appeal. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And again, I don't know that I should be suggesting that people should focus on characters, backstories, and storylines in fighting games as opposed to the fighting itself, but it does add a level of spice and decor that you that peppers and permeates through the experience. You know, you think about like Ryu and you know, his story through Street Fighter, and he's essentially a world warrior. He's a purist in terms of the fight, and he's only been getting better throughout every single tournament. And really, his focus remains the same, just looking for the next fight, just trying to better himself, and that's great and that's wonderful, and certainly much better than I could ever do. But you think of the original protagonist of King of Fighters '94, Kyo, and he was like a high school student or something like that, and he's had relationships and he's had enemies, and then he was cloned in the second saga, and he's trying to deal with the idea of being a clone, and then by the third storyline, he's definitely not even the protagonist anymore, and he's struggling with the idea of having lost his quote unquote collegehood. Uh, and it's like the character is living and breathing throughout this entire time, even though he's not necessarily at the spotlight. And a lot of what he has gone through is reflected in the way in which he fights and just stances and the things that he wears. King of Fighters just also happens to be very stylish in terms of just the things that people wear. But again, I'm talking out of my ass here. Um, I know 3v3 will always appeal to certain crowds. I get my hands full learning even one character at a time. Yeah, and as much as I tout the idea of trying to learn three characters at once, I generally value being able to focus on a single character. Not sure what's more impressive, your extensive Ryu knowledge or my now apparent lack thereof. No, it's it's nothing to write home about. I I just like characters. What TV station is it like? We do characters. Was that the USA Network or something? Anyways, it doesn't matter. Like I said, if we were to actually play a fighting game, you would probably wipe the floor with me. So there is that. Jeez, Sheepman is electric. Jeez. Okay. Okay, time to drink up. Ah, poor dodge. Not depend on that sword planting move. That was lucky. Let's go. And there it goes. You're out there chronicling the greatest world warrior and I can't even get past Shenlong. Unfortunately, I have one last day between me and the weekend, so I'll have to bid you adieu in just a bit here. Absolutely no worries. Thank you very much for hanging out in the stream. I know it's incredibly late for everyone, Pacific Standard Time or otherwise, so anytime anyone gives me the time of day, I'm certainly very appreciative. And of course, most people have things to do on Friday mornings anyway, so but I certainly appreciate the back and forth. As always, Zeke, you will very few people actually challenge you in terms of a compelling conversation, and I do wish we had more time to do this, and maybe I would be a little more focused in the things that we are saying. But at least we have saved Jeane, so there is that. I do hope you try out this game sometime, and if you do, let me know, because actually one of the things that this game touts is a 2-player co-op. It would certainly be fun to play this in unison. Butt handed to me here. Keep it in my radar during the next round of sales. Yeah, definitely do. with my folks. Oh, right, my back doesn't have energy. To continue with the full experience, please recharge now. Okay, can I actually go back to the bathroom? No, the world disappears back there. Always a pleasure speaking with you two. You're as thought-provoking as always. Certainly very kind thoughts, very kind thoughts. Like I said, we have to do this in real person sometime. Have a great rest of your night. Rest well. Have an awesome Friday. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks again. Alright, Bug Extra. Grandpa's words of wisdom. Did you know Japanese people eat cake on Christmas? I did hear that at some point. It's a weird, mysterious tradition where Japanese people eat Japanese sweets. Christmas should be celebrated with wonderful Japanese sweets. I recommend Mitarashi Dango. Bug Extra sure is a connoisseur of the Japanese culture. And I'm dead. Yeah, let's continue. Unfortunately, I don't actually know if suddenly fail in this mission if I will actually lose Jeane, so I'm thinking of continuing. And almost done with this root killer. Let's actually take a quick break here. We will be right back. podcast. Welcome back, everyone, to the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. I'm your host, Alewolf, gentleman streamer Alewolf. And so we're in the middle of our Travis Strikes Again session today. Today's goal is to actually save Jeane from the many games in which you find yourself. So that's exactly what we're doing, and we just found her in Electric Thunder Tiger 2. And we're trying to finish the level just to make sure that we collect her properly. Honestly, we found her by lucky chance, by lucky hit. I don't exactly know how that came about, but let's see. I think we're supposed to receive another facsimile from her once we actually leave this level, and so I'm trying to finish this level. I'm actually wondering if I can just leave the level and move on, and I might just try to do that and see what happens. Yeah, so hopefully you're into that. But before we go back, let's go check out what's on tap right now. And to round out the evening, we got a Delirium Nocturnum, which is a Belgian ale. So you might have heard about this, but in the Belgian style, there's ranks. There's a series of beers that follow this certain naming nomenclature. You've got Belgian doubles, triples, and you've got quadruples. What differentiates this ales from other conventional ales is the fact that they're done in the Belgian style. They use Belgian yeast, Belgian grains, and they've got certain different spices which make them certainly more special than your conventional ales. Now, doubles tend to be a little darker, maltier. Triples actually are golden, they're lighter, they're fiery, as I like to say. More alcoholic than doubles. Quadruples tend to be the most alcoholiest, or strength in terms of alcohol by volume. And they're actually also darker, maltier. A lot of the times they're actually aged in spirit barrels. I don't know if Delirium Nocturnum is aged in a barrel, to be honest with you. It's got an 8.5% alcohol by volume, so not as strong as I've seen other quadruples, but certainly nothing to scoff at. Let's go ahead and see what Untapped has to say on the issue. What does Untapped has to say on Delirium Nocturnum? Color and sight. Dark chocolate brown with a compact form. White brown. Odor touches of caramel, mocha, and chocolate. Spices such as licorice and coriander are also present. Taste. Initially a very pleasant sensation in the mouth of alcohol and softness. It is followed by a growing bitterness which comes partly from hops, but also from roasted malt and chocolate malt. Towards the end, pleasant balance between bitter, sour, and sweet notes. That's a whole range of flavors right there. I don't know if my description is going to be as good as that, but let's see what I think. Let's see what Alewolf thinks about this. Let me just get this and update our ticker before I leave this page. And there he goes. Okay. And I've actually visited this brewery, which is called the Brewery Haig. Or at least I visited one of their main tap rooms in Belgium. Back when I visited Europe. Delightful. They had so many different beers there. It was the perfect place, and I was only able to be there for a couple of hours. Very sad. But those memories will never fade. And so, as you can see, it's not black like a stout or anything like that. If anything, it looks like a brown porter, maybe redder, and maybe the app descriptor would be an amber ale. Uh, it looks maybe like a Marzen, perhaps. The nose is very soft, very aromatic. You can certainly smell the Belgian yeast on it. Very light caramel, or maybe even maple. Something very syrupy. The bitterness is not really there, to be honest with you. Very light roasted notes there. So I guess there is maybe some very slight bitterness as you finish it out, but not, again, nothing that I would use as a descriptor for this particular beer. It's very well balanced. Pretty heavy, I can already tell, but I love it. It's great. Please drink Delirium Nocturnum. It's the perfect way to finish out an evening. But with that, let's go back to our adventure. And we just got killed. I'm going to say no. Let me get my audio back in.
I'm so sorry, Charlotte.
That's right. Yes, let's go back to the trailer. Thursday nights. Okay, received a new fax. Yes, let's go ahead and save. Hold them pants down. Excellent. Sorry, Jeane. I'm currently resting after having moved around 4 different houses. The house seems abandoned. There's no trace of anyone here. This room looks like it's been ransacked, and there are what appear to be bloodstains on the floor. It's really uncomfortable here. Please comfort me quickly. Okay, so we're going back into Life is Destroyed, which is not one of my favorite levels. But so it goes. Can we actually level up? How about that? So we need 5,400 to level up, so it's gonna be a while longer. Let's see if we can change shirts. Power of Justice. Continue. Donut. I like this shirt, the Hajre one. And of course for him it's not a shirt, it's more of a wife beater. Mother Russia bleeds. Yeah, why not? Let's hope it bleeds some more. Alright, let's jump back into Life is Destroy.
It's game time.
It is game time. Such a charming start. I guess we might as well just go ahead with the starting point. Alright, let's go find Jeane. So, here we are, huh? Travis touchdown, back for more. You never learn, do you? I assume you know this, but this is a restricted area. It's closed off. You can't proceed in... You know what? I don't know why I'm doing this. We've already done this before. That's fine. Let's go back to that if we get an audience. In my memory, this feels like it was like the third or fourth level, but it was actually the second. First house. Doppelganger once worked with pride to improve society. Oh, did he? Always up for finding some treasure. Beautiful. me from afar. Ah, this punk. And they're out. And that song means that everything is clear. Wow. It is certainly getting late. Alright, let's keep moving. Moving on to, I'm guessing, level 2. Or case number 2. And fortunately, we don't have Dr. Manhattan chasing us just yet. I wonder what the purpose of that one is. Oh, I see. Maybe that one? Okay. And there we go. The mystery has been solved. Let's see what happens if we do this. And looks like nothing. Alright, I think that should do it. Like I said, still pretty simple level design. Every time I hear that doorbell, I feel like it's actually the doorbell at my house. And if you're just joining us, we are playing Travis Strikes Again, trying to find Jeane in every level, and we are enjoying a Delirium Nocturnum, which is a quadruple. Best way to round out an evening. Whoa. Alright, so can't enter there yet. Over there. Alright, anything else? Still not open. I'm surely surprised. Oh man. Okay, is that it? There it goes. This guy's not dead yet. Wow. Come on. Okay, so it looks like we finished this particular level. Let's check these rooms to see if Jeane is anywhere to be found. Okay, so I guess nothing here. Okay, let's use the toilet and move on. Moving on to case number 3. Where am I? Oh, I see. And is this the stage where Dr. Manhattan shows up? These drill guys. And there's our end point. This is a second way to get into this plaza, I'm assuming. Well, you can't actually get there because of the trees are blocking you. But maybe moving this might actually do that. And that's certainly not what I wanted to do. That makes more sense. Got an extra life. It's always nice to have one more life. Except Puss in Boots. God, I keep thinking that it's a doorbell at my house.
This house marks part of Doppelganger's descent to madness. It was here that he took another step towards becoming a monster.
Yes, I remember. I remember. Oh, come on. Would you kindly let me drink some beer? Oh, there he is. This is the room that we've already been to. Beautiful. Ah, cheddar, of course. But what is your favorite type of cheese? I do like my Comté. Where are you, Jeane? Is that it? Looks like it is. Wow. Doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to escape Hypnos. But have you got any plans for this weekend? I don't know that I have too many solid plans. I think I'm thinking about putting up the old Christmas tree finally. Been meaning to do that. And I've also got a breakfast burrito waiting for me tomorrow morning. Very excited about that. All the things to be excited over. Gotta enjoy the small things, you know? Where's the exit? Is it just the way that I came in? Maybe it is. Okay, I thought that was case number 2, but maybe I was mistaken. And this has got to be the time when Dr. Manhattan shows up. I can't imagine that it isn't. Oh, come on. What's the point of activating this? And down it goes. Okay, can't proceed here. Where that Jeane is. How about this? So that just gets us there.
Oh, action.
Was that just more money? Potentially. I'm honestly getting confused here. Okay, I think the only way. Route forward is making sure that that particular path north of me is left to right, but beyond that, making these things align is kind of wild. Okay, so maybe that. actually change the cart from there. Do one of these, and then maybe. Reach the cards from here. Well, I think I've gotten myself into a mess. Oh. For a moment there I thought I was running out of time. Let's go ahead and recharge. Okay, nice. Wow, there's no keys in this thing. Okay, so we got it this way. Jeez, come on. What is this? Didn't really get us anywhere. Oh, look at that. That was just lucky. Okay, keep an eye out for Jeane. Bugjiro. Give me your best ramen. All our power has been recovered. Shoot for number one, then you can become the only one. Great. Jeez. Oh, come on. Wasted the whole thing on that. Oh, come on. Nice. And it blew up. Oh. Okay, and I think that's the last of this. Is Jeane anywhere here? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, there doesn't seem to be much more of anything here. Let's go ahead and save up and move on. Alright, let's move on. And actually, let me go ahead and switch to Batman. We've actually got enough experience to go ahead and level up.
Okay.
Beautiful. Level 9.
Hell yeah. Charlotte.
Let's go ahead and pick some fun skills for Batman. So let's go ahead and rearrange these guys. Let's put the shiny chip here. Put the psycho chip here. Triple crown here. Strike freedom chip. F91. Wing chip is being used, but okay, shining chip is our first one, followed by psycho chip.
Time to knock out a homer.
Alright, now I'm pretty sure that this is where Dr. Manhattan starts stalking us, which is not my favorite feeling, but we gotta do it for Jeane, you know? Case 5 out of 8. Halfway there. Okay. So unlike us, Dr. Manhattan can actually go through neighborhoods. Which is both a disadvantage and an advantage. Here's hoping that we can find Jeane without having to go through case number 8. That one was insanely difficult. Oh man. Whoa, hey. Oh, come on. I just stopped to do my death move. Yes, come on. Oh, that's so frustrating. I thought I got a pause from that. skill chip. I guess we missed that the first time around, so that was worthwhile. Okay, here we go. Beautiful. And there's that white sheep man, which suggests that this is the mid-level point. Let's check out anything. Destroy chip. Sets a wall blocking attacks and advancement. Dissipates after a set amount of time or after taking an... So it's essentially a wall. So we don't really need to use that right now. Did I hear a cat? Was that just wishful thinking? I hear a cat. I definitely hear a cat. Jeane, I'm coming. Jeane! Come here, you crazy cat. Just railed on that guy. No finesse, just go after it. Knock its head off. Home run. And I know we don't really have to finish this stage at this point since we found Jeane, but still. That. Here we go. Alright. Come on, squid man. And there's our sheep man. Oh, I thought that was something important. It was actually just a couch. Just a couch? Alright. The F are you talking about? Hurry up and come at me. Ah, that was Let's go. Short planter. Come on. This guy teleports. Nice. More drink. And down it goes. This sheepman have become a lot easier in recent times. Whew, okay. Let's get out of here. Still feeling the effects of the drink, I see. Yeah, how about them hairy legs? Okay, let's leave and then let's get out of here. Let's do one of these. Okay. Made it back to the trailer. Done with Life is Destroy as far as I can tell. Got another chip to boot, so life is good. I think life is good. LG, as they say. Received another fax from Jeane. I sure wish she'd send me more notes more often. Suggested me that she appreciates me as much as I do. Alright, coffee and donuts. I'm currently in a huge mansion. The interior was painstakingly done, but not in very good taste. A mansion can't just be big. Some people have no sense of style. Please come for me quickly. Well, that could just be anything. What are my stats here? Well, this actually tells you, I never actually knew this. Hidden characters. Doesn't actually tell you found Jeane though. Skill chips 4 out of 4, ramen shops 2 out of 2. Hidden characters. Skill chips 3 out of 4. So I guess definitely need to find more skill chips in coffee and donuts. Right, I guess we're going back to coffee and donuts. Whew, okay. This one was a pretty big one, I think.
It's game time.
We're actually pretty close to our Cinderella time, but let's see how long this drink holds us. And if anybody's wondering, we're still having a Delirium Nocturnum, a Belgian quadruple. I really like the cinematic. So I guess they're not playing it. I hear Jeane already. I guess the mansion is already fully open. I don't know that the meowing actually helps find where she is. So this is 305. It's 1 level. I just want to make sure that I'm not randomly passing her. She sounds very close. Like hideously close. Hey, wait a second. Beautiful. That was quick. So we found Jeane without having to go to any of the levels. Check out the stats here for coffee and donuts. So let me see, what other chips am I missing in coffee and donuts? Strike Freedom, yes, we have that one. We have the Atlas ship, Triple Crown, NBMB. Causes normal attacks to release a shockwave. Okay, so the chip that we are looking for is called MBNB. Nutsberry Milk Blanc Marsh. Let's see. There's this YouTube video that shows where all the skill chips are found. And let's see. What is that? Sorry, I'm watching a YouTube video that depicts how to get all the skill chips. But because of the way in which they've added the captions on the video, you can't actually tell what skill chip the person got. Okay, Strike Freedom is what you get after finishing this level. So it's gotta be either door 402 or 405. Let's go with 405. Since it's silly. Walkthrough doesn't actually tell us. Why can't people just say the things that they mean to say? Different video. Okay. NMNB chip. Still doesn't actually tell me. I'm sure that everyone watching this, if any of you actually exist, is finding this incredibly riveting, but I guess I'll put it on the main screen. Stone 402. That's not what I wanted, man. What are they even doing there? Was that a secret character, the one-up life? This is wild, I don't get it. I just need to tell me where do you find the MBNB chip? Why is that so difficult? Just say 402 or 405, it's not that hard. Wow, this is not helping at all. Alright, I'm gonna assume it's door 402. This is ridiculous. And if it isn't, well, I guess it is door 405. Let's go. Okay, that wasn't good. My platforming skills. Beautiful. Still relatively stronger than most characters, most enemies here. Get out of my way. Add some pizza. These gem heads are always such a bother. Oh, hey. And they're out. Whoa. Why would I know that? Let's recharge. Gotta love them sugar donuts. Ah, come on. And this is definitely one of the most platform-heavy levels in Travis Strikes Again. A lot of this particular part of the map or this game reminds me a lot of the treetop levels in Donkey Kong Country, the first one. they are out. Camera pulls out. Ah, all the way at the beginning. Yeah, like I said, tricky jumps in this one. And they're out. Ah, you're starting to hurt. Oh, come on. I was still on the edge there. I wonder if there's any skill chips that can actually hurt those guys up there. Whoa, that was close. Wonderful. All the way back. And so just trying to stay ahead of the curve in front of the donut. Not too bad. Donut seems to be slowing down. Final destination. Wow, that is some defense. Ah, charge up. And that's the door. But that's the skill chip right there. So what did we miss there? I guess we're gonna have to check out that YouTube video again. the video shows. And let me just show you guys what it shows. So we did all that. There was only some way to skip like 5-second segments or something like that. That'd be sweet. Where are we at? 48. And then at the 52-minute mark, we actually get the chip. Okay, so that happens. So, right, and we did that. There's those things that keep shooting at you. Still, I don't see anything different than what I did. Come on, there has to be something. It's at 50-minute mark. Right, so it starts moving and... oh, that's that bear chip, I'm guessing. So you take those guys out as usual. Wow. This. What? Alright, so that's the way to do this. Let's go ahead and try to do that. Ah, we can't even go back, that's the problem. Let's do that, let's make that be our final accomplishment. Go back to 402. Well, hopefully you enjoyed watching a YouTube video. I certainly did not. At least we know what we need to do. Let's go! I thought the things that they were like hidden characters or something. Whatever. I don't need secret characters. I want chips and I want Jeane. Put him up. How dare you? Oh, what a punk. We're getting that chip. I don't care. We are getting that chip. Drink responsibly. Get enough sleep. We're getting that chip. Wow. Our last great accomplishment of a fun-filled Thursday evening. I am certainly satisfied. We found Jeane 3 times already, so definitely not too shabby. This is it. Oh. And here we go. Beautiful. No explosions for me. And there it is. We're getting that chip no matter what. Alright, let's do this. Well, I didn't fully die, I guess. Beautiful. So I got the NMF. Oh, whatever. Wow, even though he's slowed down, he still has perfect guard. And down he goes. Ah, that was tough. Alright, I think we're done. It's just double. That's not what I meant to do. No! I don't want to install it. I want to continue playing. Ah, stop scaring me like that, dude. Alright, so stats. Skill chips found 4 out of 4. Okay, good. Let's go back to the trailer. And I'm assuming that the new content that has to be installed is the DLC that I downloaded or purchased before jumping into this game session. yes, let's go ahead and save.
Ooh.
Dropping a significant load there. We'll read the next facts later. I do want to check my chips. NBMB. Nutsberry milk blancmange temporarily causes normal attacks to release a shockwave. That's pretty cool. I will try it out next time. Alright. And let's go ahead and just save. And with that, let's go with fresh. So, thank you very much for joining me for the No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again block this Thursday evening. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Hopefully you liked some of the conversation here. Thank you very much to our friend Zeke for popping in and providing very poignant and thoughtful chatter. I'll probably continue to try to find Jeane next time I hop back in about 2 weeks. Although in about 2 weeks is when the holidays are upon us, and I do plan on taking a break very soon. I've got family coming in, lots of the Chillhop family coming in, so there might be a bit of a break here, but that's part for the course here for the Ales and Fails Twitch stream. Whatever the case, tune in tomorrow. We'll have our retro corner featuring Banjo-Kazooie at around this time block, 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. But before that, we will be playing Elden Ring for the block we have come to know as Tavern Tales with John and Ales, where we'll have chatter with a friend of the show, John, for our weekly roundup. If any of that interests you, check out my schedule, and if it doesn't, then I pray that I made you smile at least once. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you again.